Welcome in everyone to Sports Talk. I'm Jackson, and today, one of my favorite people to talk about in the baseball world, Francisco Lindor. Francisco Lindor is a one-of-the-kind talent. He's a five-tool player, switch hitter, gold glover, platinum. I think he won a platinum one year, not sure. All-star. He's a stud, and he's in his mid-20s, which is ridiculous. Um, this video is gonna be about Francisco Lindor. He's been on the hot seat this winter, and I think there's everyone thinks he's getting traded this winter, and I think he knows it too. But these are gonna be this video is gonna be about my top five trade destinations for Francisco Lindor. I'm even throwing some players that I think Cleveland could get in return. But before we talk about those guys that Cleveland could be getting in return, we got to talk about what they need as a team. And I think number one, that's gonna be infield help. They're losing Lindor, obviously, and then they're gonna be. I think they're losing Cesar Hernandez, who is a all right second baseman. He's gonna be a free agent. I don't think they want him back. I don't think he wants to be there. But they're gonna lose Cesar Hernandez. Number two, an outfield bat. Not just an outfielder, just a guy that's going to hit the ball. And they got Franmil Reyes. I think he's more of a DH. That's why. If he was an outfielder, then this wouldn't really be a need for him. And they got Tyler Naquin. He's not more of as a hitter. He's more of a defensive speed kind of guy. Number three, that's bullpen out. And I really like their bullpen. I think they're one piece away. I like Brad Hand. Adam Simber, he's good. He's a stud. He throws sidearm. He strikes people out. And then number three, they got James Karinchak. I think he was a rookie. This year he had I heard something over the radio over the summer saying he had like 19 strikeouts per 9 innings averaged in the minor leagues last year, which is absurd. So if they can go out and get another bullpen piece to, you know, help them out a little bit, I think they could be in a really good spot. But nonetheless, here are my five trade destinations for Francisco Lindor. Number five is just more kind of like an honorable mention, but it's still five. Is the Philadelphia Phillies, and I think the Phillies, they're in a place if they don't sign back Didi Gregorius, which I think there's a very good chance they don't. But if they do, obviously they're not going to go after Francisco Lindor. Um, Philadelphia, I could see them. I see Spencer Howard being a part of that trade, and Spencer Howard, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. I think he pitched this year, so I'm not quite sure. He's the 34th prospect in the MLB, but I think they got Shane Bieber, Zach Plesac. If they could go out and get Spencer Howard, develop in there around those two amazing pitchers. Shane Bieber's won the Cy Young, and then Gene Segura. I was talking about how they needed infield help. Segura has been a great player throughout his career. He's been in an All-Star game, I'm pretty sure. He's bounced around the league a little bit, but I think he's gonna get traded to Cleveland, and I think he's gonna establish himself there. Um, Number four on my list is the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are in a amazing spot. I think if they can go get Francisco Lindor, maybe we see him move Dansby Swanson. Maybe we see Dansby Swanson get sent in that trade. We'll see what they have to do there, but I think Kyle Wright is a big name in that trade. They got guys like Mike Soroka, Ian Anderson, Max Fried. So Kyle Wright's young and he's gonna be a stud, but it's like, do they really need him? Do they need him right now? Can they go out and get at a position where Dansby Swanson really hasn't been what people thought he was gonna be? And they can go out and get Francisco Lindor, get themselves over the hump, and possibly we could see him win a World Series title next year. Number three is the New York Yankees. Of course, the Yankees are in. Anytime a star gets mentioned or getting traded, you have to put the Yankees in there. The Yankees are an interesting team. They have Gio Urshela, but Miguel Andujar was a stud a couple years. They could go out and sign back DJ LeMahieu, and Gleyber Torres could be playing shortstop again, or who knows. But here's the trade. I think they're gonna trade Clint Frazier. I think Clint Frazier is gonna be that outfield bat Cleveland gets back. Actually, he was with Cleveland earlier in his career back in 2016 when Andrew Miller got traded to Cleveland. But Clint Frazier, he's an established player. I think he's playing all the time every year because a Yankee outfielder's hurt 24/7. So Clint Frazier, I think if he can get himself into where he's the guy, he's the starting left fielder every day. he can have some big numbers. And number two, I think the Yankees could. I think it's between Clark Schmidt and Devi Garcia, two young, phenomenal prospect pitchers. Um, I think again, Cleveland. I think Cleveland could be interested in a young starting pitcher, and I think for a guy like Francisco Lindor, you gotta get at least Devi Garcia or Clark Schmidt in that trade. And number three, Oswald Pereza. I don't know how to say his name. I'm pretty sure it's the number four prospect in the Yankee system. He's a shortstop, and I think maybe um, if the Cleveland Indians can snag a guy like him, I think he could develop nice over there in Cleveland. And a guy I want to just throw in there is Chad Green. Chad Green. I mean, he's been a pretty solid relief pitcher in his career. And my number two team is the Cincinnati Reds. And the Cincinnati Reds, I think they're in a great spot. I mainly want to talk about two guys. Jose Garcia, he's a young shortstop. I think he's a switch hitter. He's quick. He's good glove. I think he's kind of like he could be a perfect replacement over there for Francisco Lindor. And I think he can fit nicely into that system. And we're going to let him develop over there in Cleveland. He'll be able to play. He can come in and play every day. And even if he's not the guy, Cleveland's got some guys in the prospect system, some shortstops preferably, that they got developing, that they're going to be ready about 2022, 2023. And they just need a guy to hold him over the hump they just need a guy to hold him over there. And I think that's Jose Garcia. And if he does pan out there, you can move him to second base and have that young shortstop come up. And another guy I want to talk about is Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley's in Cincinnati, and I think he can. Come in there and he can be that eighth inning, maybe even a closer. I could see him be a closer, but we'll just have to see. I don't like Cincinnati's roster really. I don't like the farm system. But they have a couple guys, and I think they can mix in something. They maybe remember Cleveland is not just going to trade Lindor. There's going to be some pieces in Cleveland getting sent to these other teams, and we could also see a 3-team trade possibly. That's actually a high possibility. We've seen it happen with stars all the time. It ends up being a 3-team trade, like Mookie Betts last year. That was a 3-team trade, if you guys remember that. And my number one team is the New York Mets. And the New York Mets, they are an interesting team. They got that new owner. He's ready to spend money. He wants to spend money. He said it. He wants to spend money. And this is the perfect chance to prove himself. Lindor, he's going to sign. It's going to be like Mookie Betts. He's going to get traded there, and then he's going to sign that big contract. Like Mookie Betts, he got traded a couple months later. He's signing $12 million deal or 12-year deals worth $300 million. And that's probably what we're going to see with Francisco Lindor. A couple of months or maybe even weeks after he gets traded. But I think the Mets, Ronnie Mauricio, I think that's how you say his name. He's the number one prospect. He's a switch hitter. He's a stud. He's a complete ball player. He'll be there by 20. He'll be ready. He's a 2022 ETA, I'm pretty sure. 2021 maybe. He's a 5-tool baseball player. I've watched highlights on him. He's a great defender. He's got great arm strength. He can hit for power. He's just an all-around stud shortstop that I think we see get sent over in that trade. And another shortstop I have that could get sent in that trade is Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario has been an all-right player. We could maybe see the Mets keep Ahmed Rosario and play him more over at second base. I don't watch a lot of Mets games. Don't really know what he's done. That's why I watched some highlights on him and just him hitting. And he's got potential. I think he just needs to work more. There's a lot of these players that say they need to work more, and they're there. Ahmed Rosario's got the talent. We've seen it before. So he may not get sent in that deal, but I think there's a high possibility he might get sent in that deal. Another guy I want to touch up on is two guys, actually, Edwin Diaz and Jerry Sumiller. I think I can guarantee you one of those guys is going to get sent in that deal. Whether it's Edwin Diaz, I think there's a high chance Edwin Diaz gets sent in that trade. Edwin Diaz has been god-awful in New York ever since he left Seattle, got traded there with Robinson Cano. Edwin Diaz has been god-awful in New York last 2 years. He's blowing saves every game. So we'll have to wait and see. I think Edwin Diaz, or Jerry Sumiller for that matter, is going to get sent in that trade. But, yeah, that is the mock trades I got for you. Not really mock trades. I'm not really good at mock trades. But that is my scenario on Francisco Lindor. I think the best fit. I just want to say the best fit for him is the Atlanta Braves. But I think he's out of these teams I named, I think he's going to be like they got the fourth best chance to go out again. But I think the best fit for Francisco Lindor is the Atlanta Braves. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you drop it down in the comments section below. And let me know what you guys want to see me talk about next. This is kind of just like, this is my first time doing this. So I'm getting used to it. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I definitely like these kind of videos, and I want to make more of them where I kind of talk about one player, maybe even a team. But let me go know what you guys want to see. Drop it down in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we are built better.